So Donald Trump announced that he intends to hold a press conference on January 6th, the one-year anniversary of the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. You know, the next 10 days between now and then would be a really good time for DOJ to step up and do a little bit of justice. Because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So recently we learned that Donald Trump intends to give a speech and hold a press conference on January 6th to coincide with the one-year anniversary of the deadly attack on our U.S. Capitol. Here's how it's being reported by Reuters. Trump plans news conference on January 6th, anniversary of deadly U.S. Capitol riot. Former President Donald Trump said on Tuesday he would hold a news conference on January 6th, 1 year after the deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol, which the Republican has been accused of fomenting. Trump said he will discuss the events of that day, in which rioters marched to the Capitol after hearing him speak outside the White House. Trump told the crowd of supporters he would never concede the November 3rd election, and urged them to, quote, fight like hell, close quote, before they went to the Capitol, where lawmakers were preparing to certify Joe Biden's victory. 4 people died on the day of the riot, and 1 Capitol police officer died the next day of injuries sustained while defending Congress. Hundreds of police were injured during the multi-hour onslaught by Trump supporters, and 4 officers have since taken their own lives. More than 700 people have been arrested in connection with the assault on the Capitol. And friends, just so there's no mistaking, who is responsible for the attack on the U.S. Capitol? Who inspired it? Who directed it? Who incited it? Let's see what some of those 700 defendants said about why they did what they did. This is the reporting some time ago from CBS News. Duped and egged on, Capitol rioters used Trump as excuse in court. Attorneys for at least 7 accused rioters have referenced Mr. Trump in efforts to explain their clients' actions, according to statements and documents reviewed by CBS News. The attorney for Matthew Ryan Miller, who was allegedly photographed discharging a fire extinguisher on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, said during a hearing that his client was, quote, there at the behest of then-President Trump, closed quote. Mr. Miller concedes he was on the Capitol grounds to protest, along with thousands of other protesters, and was merely following the directions of then-President Trump, the country's chief law enforcement officer, and other speakers to march to the Capitol. Similarly, the defense attorney for Ethan Nordine, an accused Proud Boys member, wrote in a filing that then-President Trump egged on his client. A lawyer for accused Proud Boy Dominic Pizzola wrote that his client was duped and was responding to the entreaties of the then Commander-in-Chief. And most recently, friends, a defendant by the name of Landon Copeland, himself an Army veteran, told our friend Scott McFarlane in an interview from the D.C. jail the following, quote, Donald Trump, our Commander-in-Chief, directed us to the Capitol. Trump authorized it. We all remember Donald Trump prior to January 6th telling the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. And then on January 6th, Donald Trump unleashed the Proud Boys and all of his other angry supporters, telling them to go to the U.S. Capitol, telling them to fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore, telling them expressly and directly to stop the steal, which of course was Donald Trump's way of telling them to stop the certification of Biden's win. Donald Trump incited a riot, and yes, an insurrection. And friends, in the 30 years I was prosecuting cases, I won cases on a lot less evidence. So now, in the next 10 days, before we hit the 1-year anniversary, now would be a really good time for the Department of Justice to stop standing back and stop standing by. Now would be a really good time for DOJ to step up, be guided by the evidence, charge Donald Trump, do a little justice, because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.